and welcome to episode number 80 of the Introvert Biz Growth Podcast, the show where I talk to introverts who grow their business and make a difference. I'm Sarah Zanagroce, and I'm so excited that you're spending this time with me today for another great episode. I just got back from a long weekend camping with friends. Well, actually, it was glamping because we were not in a tent, but in a mobile home with really cozy beds. But it was, lovely to just be outside in nature and watch the fields and watch the wind. We had some windmills in front of us, and it was just, great times. And it's so important, I think, to take time off. I didn't bring my laptop. I did have my phone, but the internet was so bad that I only kind of went to the reception to check emails once. So it was just great to be offline for a while. And, I think it's important to do that even if we do love what we do. I mean, I'm the first one to actually enjoy doing things also on the weekend for my business. But it's important to take that time off and really focus and prioritize also other things in our life, not just work. And my guest today, Kelly McCausey, she really loves what she does as well. And she loves people and communities. Actually, she built her entire brand about that core message. Her brand is called Love People and Make Money. Kelly is a business coach, event host, and instigator of communities. She believes you can sink your roots deep into a community, meet needs, and create profit you can be proud of. We talk about communities, life events, information products, membership programs, and much more. So without further ado, here's my conversation with Kelly. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
I'm great. Good to be here.
Yeah, good to be here too. I think we have connected several times over the years, and I'm so glad we finally get this chance to sit together or almost together in our separate locations and have this chat. So, Kelly, I just read the official bio in the intro, and I want you to tell us the real story, the behind the scenes about who you are and how you've built your business and where introversion comes in. And we just had this conversation offline about, maybe you're more an ambivert. So tell us all about that as well.
Sure. So my business is almost entirely online. It was built online. I started out doing graphic design for other people and started an internet radio show out of personal curiosity about all the ways that work-at-home moms were making money online. And it just swung open a door that changed my life as I went in the direction of really being part of a community, seeing a community develop around me, launched a membership site, began to sell information products, got into affiliate marketing. And as I just pursued my curiosity and tried things out, my life changed. I set myself free from debt. I quit my day job. I went into all of this full time, and it's been such an amazing experience ever since. It's been 17 years since I got started.
Wow. You're like part of the first ones who had an online business, I guess, right? When the internet first started.
Well, there are people who go back like 4 or 5 years before me. So they would say, no, she's not one of the first. But I was definitely the first work-at-home mom internet radio show and podcast. So I do proudly wear the podcasting pioneer hat.
That's great. So you just went through a rebranding, so to speak, right? So tell us about your new brand and what it is you do there and what has changed, or if it's still the same thing, just under a different name.
So my brand is Love People and Make Money. I believe if you sink your roots deep into a community, look around, find the needs and meet them one by one, whether you're meeting them directly or you're recommending someone else who can meet that need, you're going to create profit. And for me, that was work-at-home moms in the beginning. But then my son grew up, moved out, got married, gave me a grandchild. When I no longer had to be home in active parenting, I started to travel and enjoy more flexibility. So work at home mom no longer fit as a identity.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, it didn't fit so much as a target market because much of that market liked that I talked about how to make money from home online without travel, without extra complication. Work at home moms need things to stay simple. And when my life didn't stay so simple, I didn't resonate with them as much. So I made a shift. And Love People Make Money, the brand that I'm in now, just represents another shift for me, is that I'm no longer a solopreneur. For many years, from 2011 to 2017, I embraced the identity of solopreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say I run a business light and tight on purpose. And I had created a business that I could run. You know, I did have a VA, but I could have run it myself. I could have done it alone. But there came a point where that just wasn't true anymore. I have 5 distinct brands. 3 of them I have partnerships with. I have a team. If my team left me, I'd lose my mind. So I'm not a work-at-home mom anymore. I'm not a solopreneur anymore. Who am I? I went through this identity crisis, and then I just realized the brand had to be about an identity. I wanted it to be about what I do. I love people and I make money.
That's beautiful. Where did the blue hair come in? Was that part of the change, or was that completely unrelated?
It is unrelated, but it is starting to become a bit of a brand.
I think so, yeah.
So last year, this is the second time I've done it. I did it the first time in 2011, but I did a fundraiser for St. Baldrick's.
Mm-hmm.
They raised money for childhood cancer research. And in advance of shaving my head for the fundraiser, I like to color my hair and have some fun and use that to get attention for the fundraiser. So back in 2011, my hair was pink, and then it was purple, and then it was gone. And this time I went with teal, and I got such feedback about it, and I loved it myself. Just everything about it felt so me that when my hair grew back, I dyed it again. So the reason I wanted to color it before the fundraiser is that when you're shaving your hair, you don't have to keep up the color.
Yes.
But on a day-to-day basis, keeping up a bright color, there's a lot of maintenance involved. I'm not a yes to that forever.
Right.
But for now, it's fun.
For now, it's you. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. All right. So tell us about your business model, because that's what the introverted entrepreneurs are always interested in learning more about, is how different people run their business differently. So you already said you're kind of running 3 brands at a time and have collaborations. So is it still info products that you're selling, or is it something else, membership sites? What exactly is it?
So the foundation of everything I do is content marketing and community building. So at Love People Make Money, I blog, I podcast, I sell information products about specific things, and I run a group mastermind. I do private coaching, and I host an event every year. And then my side steps are like, there's Beachpreneurs that I do with Nicole Dean. That's the private beach retreat and the hotel conference every year. I own a hosting company, MomWebs Hosting. And I have 2 different private label right content brands, White Label Perks and Daily Faith PLR, where we develop rebrandable content that other people can buy a license to and use in their business.
Right. I think, yeah, that term PLR, right? Private label rights, probably not everybody in the audience knows what that is. And you just explained it really well. It's content that you get a license to that you can then resell the content by adding your own content to it or changing it however you like, and then adding your logo to it and either use it with your clients or sell it on your site. And so you own two different PLR companies, you said.
Yes. White Label Perks, we develop content for business topics and self-development topics.
Okay.
And Faith is focused on supporting Christian publishers, Christian bloggers, ministries, churches.
Wonderful. So yeah, you have really kind of a foot in every possible avenue, like live events and then other things that don't need your energy. Because when we talk about introversion, it's a lot about energy, right? Which ones do need our energy? And the live events, well, they need a lot of energy. So you have to really be there. And yeah, for a real introvert, that's really draining. And then usually we need to recover after those events and just kind of regain our energy. So how do these live events feel for you? Not during, because during you're full on energy and adrenaline, but how do you feel after? Do you feel tired and kind of like need your own space, or you could just keep going?
That's so interesting. Well, I think some people who host live events make it something really unnatural, like some big pomp and circumstance.
Right.
Having to dress real fancy, having all this fancy lights and sound and complicated AV. And if I were creating events like that, I would feel stretched to the edge of my being and exhausted at the end. But because I create live events that feel really natural, I don't feel like I have to turn my volume up and be on in some unfamiliar way.
Right.
And so they don't leave me feeling exhausted, but I think it's about how I design them.
Yeah, so true. You probably create introvert-friendly events. And knowing that some of them you create with Nicole Dean, who has been on the podcast as well, who's clearly an introvert, maybe she also kind of, definitely puts that energy into it. And so it just feels just, like you said, very natural. And there's no like putting on this mask, because I think that's what's tiring, is putting on this mask of being someone that we're not. And then you just feel like, oh my God, finally I can take off that mask and just be myself.
Yeah. Nicole being such a strong introvert, our beach house retreats, when I went to her back in 2010, we were traveling together we were out in San Francisco, and I was pestering her. I'm like, I want to do something that would elevate our brands and attract awesome people. I had a great interest in doing something for a small group of women. And she said, well, if we did it at the beach, I think I could get into that. And so that's where the Beachpreneurs Beach House Retreat came from. The emphasis has always been on, this is an introvert-friendly thing. There are a lot of introverts who will not go to a hotel conference.
Right.
And a retreat where there's no more than 15 human beings in the space, that might even push some people like, oh, that's a lot. But it's safe. And we designed a schedule that is so pressure-free. Right. Lots of downtime, lots of self-directed time.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm sure you know Lou Bortone.
Yes.
As well, right? So he has been on the show as well, definitely an introvert, and he hosted a retreat in Tuscany 2 years ago. And so I was like, oh, finally something in Europe that I can go to. So I went there. It was a great week, but obviously there was introverts and a lot of extroverts too. Yeah, for me, it took some courage to say, for example, I like to have my alone time at night, especially because otherwise I'm so wound up that I won't be able to sleep. So every night at 8, I'm like, okay, that's it. Enough talking for Sarah. So I'm going to head to my room. And by the third night, they just knew that, Sarah the introvert, she's done for the day. And it felt so good to be able to actually say that and have them respected. And, they're like, well, we can talk to Sarah again all day tomorrow. So it's not like there's an obligation to just keep going. And
Yeah.
that's probably what you're creating at this introvert friendly event, right? Just like, respect everybody's own energy and personality.
As an event host, both with the retreats and with my hotel events, I really believe that the individual person can create exactly what they want if I give them the space to do it. If I feel like, I have to jam the schedule every minute, I have to stuff so much value in there, because if I don't, people won't get what they need. If I do that, then I'm crushing people.
Right.
I'm not giving them any choices. I'm not trusting them to design what they want.
Yeah.
And freedom of schedule is just huge.
It is. Yeah. Great. All right. Take me to an aha moment, some time where this light bulb went on. Maybe it was when you changed your brand or something else big, either business or life related, that you want to share with the audience.
So an aha moment, a favorite of mine, I went to a radical leadership retreat in 2013. And for many years in running my business, people had been telling me, you should charge more, Kelly. I had a lot of mindset issues around money that came from never having made a lot of it and always being in debt, having some poverty mindset in there. And much of that had already been dealt with. But when people would say, you're not charging enough for your coaching, I was really resistant to their advice. Mm-hmm. So at the Radical Leadership Retreat, they teach about ego versus essence. And they introduce a diagram called the trickster's triangle. And I recognized myself, the options on the triangle are to be the hero, the victim, or the villain. And I recognized that my resistance to charging what I was worth was me being a hero, that I feared if I raised my prices, if I charged what I was really worth, the people who need me won't be able to afford me anymore.
Right.
I would be leaving somebody behind.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was so enamored and attached to being the hero, I felt like I couldn't do it. But the aha moment was in realizing, if you are playing the hero, you are drawing victims and villains into your space. Mm-hmm. You have to. The story can't be told. You can't be a hero if you don't have a victim to save or a villain to vanquish.
Wow. That is huge. Yes, I see it. I clearly see it. And so then you raised your prices from there.
I was able to go home and raise my prices, and I probably don't charge the kind of prices that some people would like me to, because I found a price that takes my breath away a little, and yet I just feel fantastic about.
Right. Yeah. In my new program that I'm working on, it's called Anxiety-Free Marketing. And one of the big topics is also underselling, because I think as conscious entrepreneurs, you're not the only one who's dealt with this, right? There are a lot of conscious entrepreneurs. They think they do their audience and probably also themselves a favor if they're not charging high prices. Yeah. However, what you just shared is exactly what's happening. Not only, are you attracting the villains maybe and the victims, but you're also end up frustrated, and it eventually is going to kill the business. So yeah. I think this is a huge topic for conscious entrepreneurs, because they want to apply fairness to business, which is good. And that's why I liked what you just said now. It's still about fair pricing, right? There's also unfair pricing, which I'm not a supporter of, but fair pricing, it needs to be sustainable for both parties.
Yep. If business coaching is something I do, but it is not the only thing I do, if I didn't have my own income streams, if all I did all day was coach, I would need and want to charge more. It'd be my entire business model.
Yeah.
But it isn't. And so I just reject the idea that because I do have freedom of income, I reject the idea that as a coach, I've got to be charging that.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are like, well, with all your experience, you should be charging $20,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I just say, no, I actually really like the people that I work with and where they're at.
Yeah.
And that's not me being a hero. I'm really clear on that. It's a choice. This is where I feel I'm meant to operate, is in a space where I'm inspiring people to have a powerful impact. And the people who need that the most are the people who aren't quite ready to spend $20,000 a year.
Yeah, exactly. Because you help them elevate and go to the next level. And that really resonates with me. Thank you for sharing that. Let's change gears a bit and talk about the 3 golden nuggets, like I like to refer to them. So the first one is something that you do on a regular basis, a habit that you think contributes to your success.
A personal habit that I've embraced over the last year is to sit down each morning and write a creation statement. It's not really an affirmation. It is just looking ahead at what do I want to create. I've been getting really intentional about what I want to create. Not really a goal, but looking past the goal to the result. What is it?
Right.
And I write a creation statement that just states it as if it already exists.
Is this a different statement each morning or always around the big goal?
It's always new, but it revisits big goals.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it will be as simple as I am strong and flexible.
Mm-hmm.
Other times it'll be more specific, like I am surrounded by powerful women ready to go to the next level in their business.
Mm-hmm.
It's something new every day. And this comes from Bellany DeShong. Her Live It Choice program teaches you to create creation statements. And I have a partner who we then message each other each morning to tell each other what we wrote down.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that. And I like the name creation statement rather than affirmation. Great.
Yeah. Affirmation, Bellany believes that affirmations just send you into resistance.
I know my brain does that. Yeah.
Yeah. And the goal of a creation statement is if you're going to sit down and create intentionally every morning, you will begin to notice the stuff in your life that's not congruent with that creation. And that creates awareness.
Mm-hmm. All right. Something a bit more. We talked about being, now something more about doing. What about an internet resource, something that you use online every day?
So I use Voxer. Voxer is a smartphone app. It's a walkie-talkie.
Over here we have WhatsApp. In Europe,
we
don't really use Voxer, but it's the same thing. Yes.
Yeah, so Voxer I'm actually paying for the pro version.
Mm-hmm.
So I use it with my private coaching clients get to Voxer me every business day with a question. Plus on Mondays, I Voxer everybody a thought to start the week on. I communicate with my team some on the Voxer app. If my message is less than 30 seconds, the app will automatically transcribe it for me.
Ooh, that's nice.
I love that when I'm brainstorming sales copy with clients.
Yeah, that's great.
Because I might say, let's try the headline like this. And then I can just click, transcribe that.
That's awesome. So that's with the paid version.
Yes, absolutely. We did test that out. Because it was something I didn't notice. I've been using Voxer for years, and they actually added that feature 2 years ago. And I only noticed it like 2 weeks ago.
Well, better late than never.
Yep.
Awesome. What about a book that you would recommend and why?
Ooh, I love my books. Has anyone ever recommended The Big Leap?
Don't think so. At least not recently.
So The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. I've read it 5 times.
Must be really good.
He introduces the 4 zones: incompetence, competence, excellence, and genius. And, anything that we do as an entrepreneur, we're gonna have at least a pit stop in competence,
right.
When we're first learning how to do something. And then we become competent, and hopefully we become excellent. But genius, like I'm good. I'm competent with accounting. I'm never going to be excellent with it. And I'm certainly never going to be a genius.
Yeah, raising my hand here.
But let's say some other things that I can do, like I can graphic design. I am excellent in graphic design, but I'm never going to be a genius in graphic design. I hit my limit with that. But now let's talk about community, creating, fostering community. I believe I've transcended into my zone of genius. That's something I love. I adore. The creativity never goes away. And the incompetence, competence, and excellence, each of those zones, you can only take something so far.
Right.
And you either become stunted or you transcend into genius. And if anybody is in a space where they're doing something that everyone says they're so good at it, but you've lost your mojo, you've hit your limit, you feel like you just can't think of one more creative idea, maybe that's just a stage that you're in that you'll pass through. But if you've been there for a while, maybe you've hit your lid and it's time to take a step to the side, because everyone has a zone of genius, but people spend so much time in activities that keep them in competence or incompetence that they just can't ever get there.
Right.
It's a great book.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I just wrote down you remember I think you said it, right? The author?
Gay Hendricks.
Gay Hendricks, yeah. I'll make sure to link to that and add it to my Kindle. Wonderful. Well, Kelly, we're getting to the end here, but I always ask the last question about, it's kind of a mindful ending. So what are you grateful for today or this week, this month?
I'm grateful for letting go of hero and embracing my role as a guide in people's lives. They don't need me to save them, but they do choose me as a guide to walk them through to the next place they want to go. Being in that space is very natural and easy. I'm very grateful for that.
That's great. Yeah. Sounds like that aha moment was like huge. And it really resonates with me too. So thank you for sharing that. I will re-listen to this episode, which I usually don't do, but I think I need to listen to that part again. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for being here, Kelly. I really appreciated talking to you and having this chance to pick your brain.
Thanks for having me. You asked wonderful questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's it for this episode of the Introvert Biz Growth Podcast. I hope you enjoyed listening to our conversation as much as I enjoyed recording it. Please go check out Kelly's website at lovepeopleMakeMoney.com, or you can also go to LPAMM. Took me a while to figure out that stands for Love People and Make Money, LPAMM.com, because there she has a great giveaway, her brandable content bundle that you can download for free. You'll find this episode's show notes at sarahsandacroce.com/episode 80. That's 80. And if you're listening to this show on a mobile device, you can click on the description and you'll find all the clickable links in there. This is Sarah signing off from the Introvert Biz Growth Podcast. Remember, you really need to use your unique introverted superpowers in order to make a difference.